Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going to be following on from my last video which showed you how to stream your audio to Facebook Live, but on this occasion I'm actually going to be showing you how to stream your actual performance. On this setup I've actually got two cameras set up, one of which is my iPhone 8, the other is a Nikon D5300 DSLR. There's a slightly different setup for each of those, but I'm covering both because you're more than likely going to be having a smartphone which you might be wanting to stream from, and if you are lucky enough to have a DSLR, there's a few extra bits that you're going to need in order to stream from that. The DSLR, of course, is always going to give you better quality. There's no lag in the capture, the video capture. But for the purposes of streaming your performance, a smartphone would suffice with the applications that I'm about to show you that you need. So let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to need to do is download the application for both our smartphone and of course for the computer that we're using. So what you'll see in the description is the link for both iOS and your Google Play if you're an Android user, and of course there's going to be a link to the software on App Store and the corresponding link to the Windows download. So the app you actually need is called Epoch Cam, and as you can see on the screen here, this is on the iPhone. So you need to download this onto your iPhone, and the top version here you can see is the free version. The one below it, the £7.99, is of course the paid for version, which gives you more functionality and ability to stream in 1080p, whereas your free version limits you to 720. So the choice is yours, and of course you are going to be inundated with the expected adverts, which are a bit annoying sometimes, but don't worry, that's not incorporated into your live stream. Here's what it looks like on the App Store. So go ahead and download that and install it. I don't need to show you how to install it. I'm pretty sure if this is the type of activities you're doing on your computer, you know how to install a program from the App Store. This is the version for Windows. You're going to need to click this link that I've highlighted here. That will enable you to download the executable file to download and install onto PC. So once you're all downloaded on your smart device and on your computer, what you're then going to need to do is just open the application up on your smart device, and then you're going to be displayed with a screen like this, and it's actually looking for your computer. Now you need to be on the same local area network, so you're both your computer and your smart device needs to be connected to the same Wi-Fi. So ensure that's the case. All you then need to do is just find the application on your PC or on your Mac, open it up, and the both will connect and ultimately start streaming. Now, as you can see here on the screen, it's picked it up, it's found it. Now, that is one half of the process complete. You are now streaming from your mobile to your computer. We need to bring in that iPhone stream or that smart device feed, video feed into OBS. So as you can see, we are here in OBS, and all we then need to do is head on over to our sources here, select the plus button, and we want to window capture, okay, because we're going to be bringing in some media from a window within the operating system. So if we go window capture, and I'm just going to name this iPhone just to keep it as simple as possible. And of course, it's prompting us to select the window of which we want to choose. And all we then need to choose is the Epoch Cam viewer. Click on that. And as you can see, there it is. So I hit on OK. It's a bit out of shape. So all we need to do is bring it down somewhat. So I'm just going to resize it so that I can get it to fit in as best as I can. And of course, you're going to have the best position possible for your smart device so that you can capture the right view. So of course, you know, you wouldn't have anything like what I'm doing here. Of course, there's me in the mirror. And you can sort of see the amount of lag that's involved here. Depends on how good a connection you've got. My connection isn't fantastic, so um, it's not really performing that well. But as you can see, we are now feeding our video from our iPhone or smart device into OBS. So that's that side of things covered. Okay, guys, streaming with a DSLR is going to require a few more items or bits of equipment. The benefits of streaming with DSLR is the fact that the quality is always going to be better, and there is very, very minimal lag, if at all any. So I recommend that you would actually go ahead and stream with DSLR. And I'm now going to go over the only a few extra bits that you're going to need in order to make that happen. Okay, guys, the first thing that you might want to invest in is a constant power supply for your camera. Now, the batteries on cameras aren't brilliant. Now, if you're going to be streaming your DJ set, which is more often than not an hour long, maybe longer, you're going to need a constant power supply to the camera. Otherwise, it's going to shut off halfway between your set, and of course, your feed will end. So this is what it looks like. It's just your basic power pack as you'd expect, but it's the connectors that's what's important. So there's your leads to give you a bit of length, and this adapter here, which is quite clever, it enables you to swap out the adapter that goes into the camera. Now this is the bit that goes into the camera, and any Nikon DSLR user will recognize this. It fits most Nikon models. It's of course shaped like a battery. It just goes in place of a battery, but it's got a lead attached to it so that you can adapt that to the power pack. So that's all it does there. So you can see here, just clips in on the end there. And if you've got a different camera, you can just get a different adapter and swap that out. Okay guys, super simple stuff here. Just plug that into the wall, switch it on, grab the other end and stick it into the camera. But before you do that, you need to take out the old battery. So we'll open up the hatch, take out the battery. These things cost about £30 in and around that number. Link for one of these is in the description, of course. So yeah, just plug it in and that's now ready to receive a constant power supply. So next up is your HDMI cable that needs to come out of the camera. Now, don't make the mistake I did. I just ordered a normal HDMI cable. What what you're actually going to need is normal HDMI one end, and on the other end you're going to need what's called HDMI Mini. I managed to get hold of an adapter which I'm showing you here, but you can in fact buy the complete cable with the two respective connectors on either end. So you want HDMI standard on one end, HDMI mini on the other. Link to this cable is in the description, but you are going to need to select the relevant size you need. So make sure that you give yourself adequate length for depending on the size of your project. Nothing too complex here. All you need to do is plug it in the HDMI mini side of the HDMI cable into the camera. It can only fit in one way, so I'll let you work that one out. Okay guys, this next bit of kit is 100% imperative to be able to stream your DSLR online through your computer. Without it, it simply just would not work. So it's unfortunate, but you are going to need to invest between 130 to 230 pounds for this little piece, this little box. But like I say, without it, it just doesn't work. Now, it goes on the other end of the HDMI cable that comes out of the camera, and out of this little box comes a Thunderbolt cable, and of course, your Thunderbolt cable goes into your laptop. So like I say, it's unfortunate you can't have it work without it, but just look at it as an investment into your setup. You'll use it each and every time you stream, so it's not something that you'll buy and it just sits at the back of the studio. This is something that you're going to be using on a regular, so definitely worth investing into. Of course, the link for it is in the description, but the prices vary. There's a massive range of if you can pick it up cheap, great. And the cheapest you're probably going to be able to get it for is about £130 new. You might be able to get a used one on eBay or something, but I had to bite the bullet and buy one new because there just wasn't a used one available. Reason being is that they're just so useful if you're into this kind of media thing. So that's the next step in this process. Okay, final bit of hooking everything up is the HDMI cable coming out of the camera. That's the other end. Into the Blackmagic Ultra Studio Mini Recorder. Plug the HDMI into that. Grab the Thunderbolt that comes out the back of that. And stick it in the computer. Okay, so here you can see I'll find one of the ports on the side of this MacBook. Just stick it in one of those. And then we're ready to start working on the computer again. Okay, now we've just connected a piece of hardware, this Ultra Studio Mini Recorder, to the MacBook. We need a driver of some kind or software so that, of course, the hardware and the computer communicate. So with the product, if you buy it new, it will come with a download link or a CD or something along the lines for you to download the software, the utility software. Once you've then downloaded it and installed it, you then need to select the HDMI option on this. Once that's set up, you will be ready to receive the feed from the camera into OBS. And the way we do that is very similar to the way that we brought in the iPhone, and this is true of any media you need to bring into the screen. All you need to do is go down to your source or your sources, click on the add button or the plus button. This time, though, we're not going to go window capture, we're going to go video capture device because that's what a camera is. Okay, so we'll select that. I'm going to write DSLR just to be consistent with what we're doing. Hit OK, and of course, I'm expecting the software to prompt me for the source of which we need our media. So I would go to device, and of course it is the Blackmagic Ultra Studio Mini Recorder that we're going to be using. So I'll select that, and there it is. That is a feed direct. That's what my camera is pointing out right now this second. I don't need to adjust it or anything because it's purely doing this for demonstration purposes. So I hit OK. All I then need to do is just make a few adjustments. Now, if this was, say for argument's sake, this was a bird's eye view of the mixer or the setup, what I'll do is I'll just resize it to something like that. Put it up in the top right hand corner because that's where it usually is from the other streams that you've seen, all the other DJs and producers and performers. That's where they like to put it. And that's it really. So those are the videos or the streaming aspects of this tutorial. You do know how to stream it to Facebook because I showed you that in the previous video. There is a link in the description that will jump straight to that section of the tutorial. But that's more or less it. If you've got any questions, please do put them in the comments and I'll try and get to them as quickly as possible. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And if there is anything I've missed, please do let me know. Consider subscribing and have a look at those links in the descriptions just to see if any of those are products that you might need in order to accomplish this live stream setup. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and everybody else and enjoy yourselves. Take care. Bye bye.